Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, November 15th, 2019. Happy Friday, everyone. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll see here we're at new highs, new all-time highs. Again, this market has never been too far away from an all-time high. It's been trending quietly higher, just chopping up, mostly sideways and flat, but again, new highs, higher lows for the most part. And this market remains bullish. Any attempt below the 8-period average continues to be defended as this thing continues to probe higher. We are above the 3100 level here, so you can see the ES has only traded above 3100 on that day, pulled back very close here, and now well through it into as high as 3111 half. 3100's right here. Again, if there's any rejection here or if there's an outside day down that begins, you're going to take out a week or two's worth of lows in one day if it were to happen. Obviously, this market remains bullish, so even if it were to pull back, again, any pullback could still be a longer-term buy opportunity here down the road as this thing continues to stretch to the upside. So we'll continue to watch this here. If you take a look here at the NQ, very similar price action here for the NQ as well. New highs beyond 8,300 here. The last time over here it got to 8,300.25. Today it's at 8300, 8304 at the moment with a high of 8308 half. Again, very narrow range over the last 9-10 days. And again, if this market gets a breakout from this range, we could see a pretty significant move down the way. Overall, if there's a failure on the first initial breakout, there could be a big change of direction and a move in the opposite direction. Same thing can be said for the downside. If price were to come down here and break to the downside and fail, that could be a big rejection that leads to much more strength. So again, going to keep an eye on 8,300 here, because if prices fail to hold 8,300 overall or start to push back below the previous session's close, that could be an indication of failure. But right now, everything's still flowing higher until proven otherwise. Taking a look here at crude oil now. With crude oil, you'll see that this one has been also in a range. This is now a 10-day range. I have it as a 9-day, but it's 2 days running. That's a 10-day narrow range. Another failed low developing here today, which could swing the thing back up toward 57.5. Again, this market has been chopping around 56.83, around 57. Very important levels. Previous month's high. All those levels are right there, and it's just been chopping, building energy. Again, whenever the market is ready to go, we could see a pretty significant move. As of right now, 4.5 points of range could be seen over the next couple of weeks once this thing finds and decides direction. Alright, let's take a look now lastly at gold futures. If you'll notice with gold here, this one had broken down, dropped into new lows, but didn't get quite into the 1440s. Instead, this one bounced just shy. Let me grab this right here. So what happened here is price bounced recently off the lows, and this got as low as 1446. You see price recovered back above 1465. That's the previous month's low here. And yesterday was able to push through 1470, the key level there. Today, a pullback and holding, again, prices below the previous low being rejected, now trying to push back above today's midpoint. If you look at the intraday 512 tick chart, there's a bit of a rounded bottom developing. If price can get above 1470 again, that could open up some at least short-term upside back toward 1475 to 1476. That's around these highs. So again, if price can continue to hold 1470 or push through that level, that rounded bottom could open up and we could be looking at 1476 down the way. Right now trading 1468. Overall, the way that this thing is rejecting down here, remember we have a downward sloping channel that has developed, kind of a flag type of pattern here. So you have these highs that come across the highs, you have these lows that come across the lows. Right here in this major LVN, I mentioned before, if we reject here, that could open up a return back toward 1500, maybe as high as 1519 there, so that zone. And right now the market's doing what it needs to do to keep that intact. Alright, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out the rest of the session. Happy Friday. Good luck. Trade well. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the trading room. Take care.